Hi, this video is going to take you through batch processing of SizeStream data. So we're using SizeStream Studio 5.28. The process is pretty similar across all of the versions really. So the first thing you're going to go to is the fourth menu across to load your data up to be batch processed. I lied, not to batch process it. You're going to go to the fourth menu across to make sure that you're processing the right files. So you want to make sure that your MG file is right, and this sets the waste location. You want to make sure your default measurement list file is the correct one, and if you've got custom measurements you're processing, you want to make sure they're right as well. Make sure your units are correct, so in this instance it's centimeters we're going to output, and then you want to go up to your third menu, the batch processing menu, left click on this. This will bring it up, so you don't need to tick anything until you get down to here, save measurements to spreadsheet. So this allows us to push out all the core and custom measurements to a spreadsheet, which is going to be a text file, and then we can pull that into Excel quite easily. Nothing else needs to be ticked. Okay, I don't want landmarks because that'll give us a lot of extra points, but if you do, you just tick that box, leave it ticked. But I don't. So what you're going to do first is add your data to the software. So if you left click on here, and it should find the location, and you want to pick, for this instance I'm just using a set of 20 sample scans that we're going to process. So select all of them, say open, and they'll appear here, and these are the scans that are going to process. So once you've got everything set up, now you can stop the processing after each batch file, but I don't want it to. I'm just going to start the batch running and let it process all 20 files one after another without stopping. So everything's loaded up. I've ticked select the save measurements to spreadsheet. I've selected core and custom because that's what I want. I've selected my core and custom measurements in the settings menu, and I'm now going to start the batch on these 20 files. So once our data is finished processing, we need to go to the location it's at. So for what I've done on this computer is I've set up a folder called Scan Files Processing, and that's where it puts my spreadsheet. So every spreadsheet that's output goes to that location. So I can minimize this screen and I can pick up in that location. You can see I've batch processed numerous files, but it's this one here. I've appended the names of these so it doesn't write over them. If you don't append the name to an existing spreadsheet, it will merge the data coming out with data that's there before. If you append the name and have no file in this location called spreadsheet, then it will create a new spreadsheet text file, and that's what you want. So I'm going to cut this from here, and then I'm just going to create a new folder, and I'll just call it Scan Batch Process, and then we'll just drop that file in there. Okay, and then what we're going to do is go to open with here in Excel, and for me it'll open it straight into Excel because I've set everything up. So the other thing you might do is just open Excel itself with nothing else, just open the Excel program and then say open, and then you'll need to go to the location where you have the computer. So in this instance it's in the desktop and it is in Scan File Processing and in this folder Batch Process here. When you come to it, you'll see here it's looking for those. So change this to all files, okay, and then it will pick up your spreadsheet. This is a difficulty often with Excel. You want to make sure it's looking for all files because it's a TXT file. So you can then left click on it and say open. And in this instance, this is what you'll generally get. It will ask you what do you want. So you can just leave it, tick delimited. You can leave everything else the same. All the settings should be fine in it. So delimited, perfect. Click next, leave this, the delimiters is tabs, that's fine. You shouldn't need to change anything. The setting that appears here will be fine to pull it all through. Next for that, again, common data format, you can just say general, and it should be fine, and then you can hit finish and it will pull it through, and now you can see your data in this format. That's all your names, the OBJs, these are all the measurements in whatever order you've ordered them by. So generally what I would do in this instance here is pick this top bar with the measurement names on, and just so I can see them, I'd rotate the text up, turn on wrap, and then just push it up a bit like that, and then I can see the name of each measurement and the measurements are below them. And then you can see through this, I have all my default measurements, and I've numbered them, and the numbering aligns with the numbers that SideStream have added, so you can map it between the manual. And then I have my custom measurements set as well, further on with a different numeration set here. You'll see sometimes you get unavailable measurements. Ideally you want to clear them because you don't really want data like that because it messes up trying to process it through Excel. Okay, and that is how you batch process the data from SideStream, okay, using the settings, and then pull it simply into Excel. And then once it's in Excel, you can process it from then into other software.